welcome back to another not Marvel Champions, the Lord of the Rings live stream. Today we are taking on the Blood of Gondor, which is in the Against the Shadow cycle right there. It's the semifinals. We're right there, almost to the end. Next week we will be taking on the Morg Vale, and if we win this week, we'll be taking this on next week. And then also, if we win today, we'll get to unbox this and see what new cards we've got. So excited about that. The Blood of Gondor this is a cool quest. It is a really cool quest. I think it's kind of fun. It's got like this kind of push your luck type element to it, because you're getting these hidden cards. You have to flip these hidden cards up at certain times during the quest. If they are enemies, then they engage you at that point, and it can snowball very quickly into something that you don't necessarily want to have to deal with. And with that being said, this is not what's supposed to be out there. With that being said, there are a couple of ways that you can mitigate. There are a couple of ways that you can play to mess with it, and I just think it's a lot of fun. I am trying something new that I've never tried before outside of when I just initially got the core box. I'm trying a mono tactics deck today. So the mono tactics, all my heroes are red. We'll see how it goes, but if we leave this the crossroads out on the battlefield, this is a quest or a location that starts on the field. If we leave this on the field, then the current quest card gains siege. So we could have a siege, and therefore we can start, meaning that we quest with our defense points, and tactics can lean into that pretty heavily. And we just never travel there. There's nothing saying that we need to travel there to win. Yep. So we just leave that out. Since it's a single player game, it's only attributing one threat to the staging area, and so we don't necessarily need to do anything to mess with it. We can leave it there, and then if we can overquest, we can quest one more, then we're fine. So that's kind of cool. I thought this was a good one to lean into because I really wanted to try the mono tactics. There are a couple of cool cards that work if you are running mono tactics. Also, I feel like it's a little bit of a challenge because mono tactics, at least with the card pool where it is right now, is not the strongest that we got. You totally missed the siege part while playing through the quest. And good evening. Hey, how's it going, Sam off the shore? Yep. So that's just the crossroads, the location that starts in play. So, okay, so let's take a look at the hero lineup. We'll talk about the deck build here, and then we'll dive into the gameplay. So up first, we've got, from the core box, we've got Legolas, a tactics Legolas. He is coming in hot. He runs at a 9 threat, a 1/3/1/4, and then after he participates in an attack that destroys an enemy, place 2 progress tokens on the current quest. So even if we aren't able to quest as much as we initially wanted to, then Legolas can quest by killing because he's Legolas. Up next, we've got Boromir. So Boromir was in my lineup from a couple of streams ago where I decided that I was going to play some heroes that I had never played before. I did not think Boromir was necessarily a good hero. It turns out he is very, very strong. So Boromir is on the lineup today. He's 11 threat, 1/3/2/5. And then it says we can raise our threat to ready Boromir once per phase. And then we can discard Boromir to deal 2 damage to each enemy engaged with a single player. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Jasco. So Boromir, typically that second action we're not going to be looking to trigger, but we may, depending on what happens whenever we push through to 2A, because at 2A we have to flip up all of our hidden cards. If we get flooded with enemies, then this could be an out for us. I don't want it to be, but it could be. And then finally, last but definitely not least, we have Burgrond, so Sentinel, and he's a 10. He has 0 quest points. He's a 1/4/4, and then lower the cost to play weapon and armor attachments on him by 2. So this is the starting lineup, and just right here, he can't normally quest, but in a siege, he is just, well, he's almost as good as Eowyn from the core box. He's got a 4 defense, so he's questing for 4, but we're not really going to be using him for questing. We're going to ideally be using him to block, but that kind of depends on what we draw from our deck. So let's talk about the deck real quick. So since we are running a mono tactics deck, all of our cards are going to be either red or gray, and it allows us to kind of run some of the more interesting red cards that we may not typically have room for in a tri or dual sphere deck. We're running 3 copies of Defenders. This is a good defender, but it also is an excellent siege quester. We've got 3 copies of Winged Guardian, who is also an excellent siege quester with that 4 defense. The Winged Guardian is one that after the Winged Guardian participates in a defense, then we need to spend a tactics resource or discard Winged Guardian. So if we have the option, we're going to be using our defenders to defend and Winged Guardians to quest. So get those out early. That's going to be really helpful. We've got the Gondorian Spearman, or the Gondorian Spearman, and this is when he defends, deal damage. We've got 3 copies of Gandalf. Since we are running a mono deck, we get to run the White Tower Watchman. White Tower Watchman allows us to assign damage to the White Tower Watchman for any undefended enemy attack, and we can only play, or that effect is only triggered if we do have heroes from only one sphere. So White Tower Watchman can then, White Tower Watchman can quest because it's a siege quest and then get all the damage assigned. We have Landroval, which is going to help us. Sometimes probably Boromir is the one that's going to die, if anyone's going to die, maybe a Legolas. But if we have Landroval out there, then we can pull them back. We have Bjorn because he's basically a new hero for us. We got Beaufort because we got some weapons. Horn of Gondors. We got 2 of them in here. We can only play 1 of them, but that is to help just jumpstart the economy a little bit, especially since we are going to be probably blocking with a couple of these guys at some point. We have the Gondorian Fire. So we can spend a resource from the attached resource pool to give the attached hero +1 for each resource it has. That is going to be going on Boromir. It would be nice if it could go on Legolas, but unfortunately it can't. Hey, Beast Snow, how's it going? Lord of the Rings, woo! So the fire is going to go on Boromir, which also means that if we get the chance, we're going to play Horn of Gondor on Boromir to up that attack value and basically up the amount of resources that Boromir is going to be pulling in. We got 2 copies of Mighty Prowess. So attached to a tactics hero. After the attached hero attacks and destroys an enemy, deal 1 damage to an enemy that shares a trait with the enemy just destroyed. This is excellent for this quest because we have a lot of Mordor and we have a lot of Orc enemies. So we're going to throw 1 of these on Boromir and 1 of these on Legolas. The first one is going to go on Legolas. And then ideally, we can start passing out the damage. If they both participate in an attack. They both participate in an attack. We can spread 2 damage out. So really cool engine there. We got Rivendell Blades. This is what Beaufort is going to go try and search for us. We got Rivendell Blades for Legolas. We got a Blade of Gondolin for Legolas, a Blade of Gondolin for Boromir. We got 2 shields. The first one's definitely going to go on Bergrand. The second one... Oh, I didn't... Horn is restricted. So I guess the second one we'll either hang on to, or if we have a blade, we'll put it on Boromir. We've got a spear. We've got 2 of these. Really, it's just to draw them earlier. We've got 3 copies of Discipline to help cancel any damage going to a lot of our allies, as well as Boromir or Bergrand. Foe Hammer to draw us cards. So after an enemy with a weapon participates in an attack that defeats an enemy, we can exhaust a weapon and draw 3 cards, giving us a lot of access to that needed card draw that Tactics has. We got Goblin Cleaver because we got a lot of orcs, so we can snipe these orcs before they come in, dealing 3 damage, and that takes care of most of the orcs, actually. So this orc, I'm trying to figure out if there's any that it does not take care of. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so there are 3 enemies plus the guy who starts out, the evil or the black Numenorian that starts out that Goblin Cleaver does not outright kill. So Goblin Cleaver is really, really strong in this matchup. We've got I really like this card. So this is Ticket of Spears. So I have to use resources from 3 different heroes pools to pay for this card. So I need 3 heroes that have access to tactics, because that is a 3 cost. And then I can choose a player. That player's engaged enemies cannot attack the players this phase. This is huge because when we flip to 2A, we have to reveal all of our hidden cards. Any of those that are enemies engage us. That can get dangerous very quickly, right? Because if we have 3, 4, or more hitting our enemies that engage us, Ticket can help prevent at least one of those. We can start methodically taking care of those. So Ticket is our get out of jail free card. It's basically a better feint. We got 3 copies of Book, so we can play it for 1 because we have 3 tactic heroes, and so we reduce the cost by 1 for each tactic hero we have. We attach to a tactic hero, and then we can discard Book to play any tactic event card in your discard pile if it was in your hand. So we're looking for probably these Thicket of Spears, or like a Goblin Cleaver, or maybe a Foe Hammer to start drawing us some more cards, or Gondorian Discipline. Behind Strong Walls helps us ready and defend more, and then Quick Strike helps us, especially once Legolas gets this Rivendell Blade. Quick Strike helps us take out things before they can be attacking us. Now, we do have a very strong defense build here with Burgrond. I think I'm saying that correctly. I have no idea, actually. With the Gondorian shield. Some people have said that they don't like me saying Gondorian, but the Gondorian shield. However, that is 1 defense. Where this deck breaks down is when we get swarmed with enemies. If we get swarmed with enemies, we need to have the defenders out there. We need to have a behind strong walls. We need to have something that allows us to defend multiple times, or we are going to be in a world of hurt. And that's kind of where it goes. The kind of the way that I've been playing the quest is because we have so much defense. Baragond. Okay, cool. Thank you, Josh. Baragond. Okay, yeah. The way that I've been playing the quest is we kind of limp our way through. Not necessarily limp our way through. It's actually a pretty consistent pace throughout the first quest card. We can get, I don't know, get built enough. If we have defenders, if we have winged guardians out there, then that really does help us, because whenever we flip, it is kind of a rush. Ideally with Baragond. Baragond. I'm just gonna continually methodically try and say that. With him out there with his shield, he's gonna be questing for 6. With Boromir, if he has a shield, he's questing for 4. And then if we have defenders and winged guardians out there, then we are getting a lot of quests. We could probably, ideally, we can push through that quest phase in 1 turn. So if we flip and push, that is kind of that's what we're looking. That's kind of what we're looking to do. So we also lose Lord Alcaron and Faramir whenever we do flip. So that is another reason to not let the game progress super long after that. Alrighty. Let's My lord, I need more money to buy all the games you guys post. They all look so fun. What game? This game? Lord of the Rings? You have Lord of the Rings. Or did I post about a different game? Played Ark Nova yesterday. Incredible game. Love that game. Yep. Okay, so let's do, actually we do hero setup first, I believe. Yeah, because it's opposite of Marvel. So we get 2. It's really too bad Baragond wasn't in the movies. Cool character. Yeah. Yeah. What is he in? Is he just in the books? Or do we see him in any other adaptation anywhere? Okay, we got Landraville, we got Horn of Gondor, we got Behind Strong Walls, we got Defender, we got Spear, and we got another Horn of Gondor. This honestly is probably a good opening hand, right? So ideally we got Behind Strong Walls, so we can take care of 2 defense. We got Spear of the Citadel, which we can play turn 1. We got Defender, which we can drop turn 1, and a Horn of Gondor we can drop turn 1. We can, and then if things start getting destroyed, we can start grabbing some resources. Then Landraville will be able to be dropped, and then that gives us a little bit of safety here. He was the captain of the garden responsible for rescuing Faramir from Denethor. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's take a look at 1A. After the assault on Osgiliath, Lord Alcron urges Boromir to pursue the retreating enemy. Boromir agrees. Hey, look at that. We're playing Boromir. We're doing what we were told. Boromir agrees and gives the mission to Faramir and his rangers. Grateful for your valiant efforts in Gondor's defense, Faramir invites you to join the hunt. And then also Boromir is going to join as well. At the crossroads and Black Númenorian to the staging area, put Faramir and Lord Alcron objective allies into play. Shuffle the encounter deck and reveal 1 card from the encounter deck per player and add it to the staging area. We got Lie in Wait. The first player turns each card in their play area face up. Resolve the win revealed effects on each encounter card. If a location is turned face up, add it to the staging area. So we don't have any. Perfect. Alrighty, and then we're able to start. But Beast Note, well, I need to catch up on Lord of the Rings Champions and Arkham. I really want Dice Throne Adventures and the characters. I want Victorum. You haven't looked too much into Final Girl. You're sure it's fun. I want Aeon's End. Jason posted a pic on Instagram about some games I've never heard of, but they seem historically based. I love that. What did he post? What did Jason post? D20. Dang it. Oh, I've not heard about any of these. 1815. Huh. Nice. I haven't heard those. I'm sure you're forgetting something. So I have not tried Final Girl. Final Girl looks really interesting. Alex from Stonemaier Games was the guy dressed up in like the serial killer cosplay at PAX, and and I was talking with him, and he was saying how great it was. I know Jason speaks very highly of it. Meg speaks very highly of it. I need to try it. It's just one of those that I need to try 10 billion games, and I need to pick and choose at some point in my life. I played through 3 games of Too Many Bones on like earlier this week. And it was the first time I played Too Many Bones since I jumped in halfway through a game at PAX last year. And that game is a lot of fun. That game is very complex, but that game is a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to more Aeon's End. I need to set up that stream. I need to set up that stream with McKay. I'm hoping that works soon. But yeah, I feel sorry for your wallet. I'm glad that the audio is doing well for everyone except for Josh. I'm sorry, Josh. I will try and speak quicker. Maybe if I speak quicker, then the patchiness you'll get everything in each packet of audio that comes through. Final Girl is super fun. A lot of RNG, but that just makes it more thematic. Yeah, nice. Alrighty, so in our income phase, resource phase, we're gonna go here and here. I'm gonna get to draw a card into a Winged Guardian. See, now this is big. This is excellent for us because we have Defender and Winged Guardian on the table. Sorry, geez, wow. Defender and Winged Guardian. Oh, actually, let's advance to 2A real quick. Okay, you've pursued the enemy all the way to the crossroads when a wicked horn blares in the distance. Within minutes, a host of orcs swarms out of the trees from all sides, led by a foreboding robed figure. At the beginning of each quest phase, each player takes one hidden card. That's just gonna be a face-down card that's in our play area. And then at the beginning of each combat phase, each player must either turn each of his hidden cards face up or take one hidden card. So, if the hidden cards, if we flip them up and they are a location or a treachery card, they get discarded. If they are an enemy, then we have to immediately engage it. Just double checking that. Player turns the hidden card face up and its enemy, immediately engages the enemy. If a player turns up a hidden card and it's a treachery location, immediately discard that card. So it's all about these hidden cards and kind of pushing our luck to see, okay, are we gonna take more? Do we think that we can handle taking more and handle the onslaught later? And right now with this setup, right, we didn't draw into anything too bad on our opening flip. We're hopefully gonna be able to engage this Black Numenorian. Ideally we could kill him. I'm not quite sure if that will happen, but we could see what happens. But the Black Numenorian gets X threat, where X is the total number of hidden cards in the game, and so we're going to want to get him out of the staging area very quickly. Go ahead and take him, because at the end of the round, each player must raise his threat by 1 for each hidden card in his play area. So there's just a lot of like bad things while the Black Numenorian is out there. We are going to leave the crossroads in the staging area for the entire game because we rely on our siege questing. And then we have Lord Alcaron and Faramir. Lord Alcaron says that the first player gains control of both of these characters. And we can exhaust Lord Alcaron to return an enemy engaged with you to the staging area. So that's another kind of get out of jail free card. If we flip into something that we cannot handle, Lord Alcaron can kind of help with that. And then we've got Faramir. Combat action, exhaust Faramir to turn a hidden card face up. If that card is an enemy, deal 3 damage to it. So that takes care of the majority of enemies. And so we're going to be spamming Faramir as much as we possibly can to flip these cards up. And that's what his job is going to be. Dune Imperium looked fun, but not really on your list because it looks complicated. I'm not sure it can be played solo. I don't know if it can be played solo. I know Arnak can be played solo. I know those games get compared fairly frequently. I have not played Dune Imperium. That's one of my I need to play this card list or game on my list. Okay. So we drew into that. We're going to go ahead and drop a Spear of the Citadel on Baragond. It says that whenever the attached character is declared as a defender, deal 1 damage to the attacking enemy. So if this is the only enemy we have, we need to deal 8 points of damage to him. Baragond is going to defend, meaning that we need to do 7 points of damage to him. This is a 3-6-7-8. So we have that there. We have the damage there to kill the Black Numenorian on turn 1. I would like to go ahead and actually we're going to leave Boromir's, because if we draw one of the fires, we're going to attach it to Boromir to throw the defender onto the table. And the defender is going to be our quester this round. We're probably going to quest with defender and Boromir and go ahead and ready Boromir, just so that we can, you know what, actually we may not but we do. I'm gonna not play Horn of Gondor this turn. I don't expect anyone to die, and that gives me a resource for behind strong walls if I do need it. Too Many Bones looked fun. I know you've been getting into that lately. Probably most of Chip Theory is fun. Chip Theory is a great company. Chip Theory has some really good titles. Too Many Bones is really, really solid. It's very customizable, which is pretty cool. Let's focus on Lord of the Rings, something I actually own some of. How is your Lord of the Rings journey going so far? So yeah, we're going to hang on to Behind Strong Walls just so if we need it later, Like if we flip another enemy, we have Baragond that can defend twice for us. And ideally, we'll flip into a weaker enemy, and then we can defend, and then ready, and then defend with a 6 against the Black Numenorian. He's attacking for a 5. Okay, so let's go ahead and quest with Defender. Actually, okay, at the start, we deal 1 card to us. We are showing 2. This is 1 because we have 1 hidden card. This is 1 because it's number of players in the game. So we're showing 2. We're questing for 4 right now. If we flip... You know what? We're just going to go here. Because I think if we flip a 3, we're going to raise our threat regardless. And so we can take the guaranteed raise our threat, quest for 5, and probably get some progress on that main quest. So, because Boromir can ready. So I think that's probably going to be what we do. So we're going to quest for 5. And we're showing 2. Flip into, when revealed, each player discards the top card of his deck till the end of the phase. Raise the total threat in the staging area by X, where X is the total cost of all cards discarded this way. Okay, so we've got a 0. Nice. Sad that we got rid of a foe hammer, but we're showing 2. We quested for 5. That means 3 progress tokens get placed on this quest. Okay, let's go ahead and raise our threat by 1 to ready Boromir, because we're gonna attack here. Faramir is gonna flip up a card. So timing question: if I use Faramir's action during like the attack phase, and I flip up an enemy that does not die from Faramir's action, does the enemy attack because we've already passed the attacking? I assume not. I assume we just kind of passed that phase of the game and we're good. Beast Snow is going well. Escape from Mount Graham. Derailed by a video game. More things to buy. Oh, man. Nice. Okay, so engagement phase. We're going to optionally engage the Black Numenorian. And we're not going to flip that up. We are going to deal us a second encounter card, or I'm sorry, a hidden card. We are going to first defend with Baragond. Based on what I heard, I believe you are correct about that. Thank you. That deals 1 damage to the Black Numenorian. And he's going to attack for 5. No shadow effect. Baragond takes 1 damage because we're only at 4 defense. Only at 4 defense. Can you imagine? Now it's the attack phase. We're going to go 3, 6, 8, which is going to kill the Black Numenorian. He has victory, so he's going to go in the victory display. We are going to then use Faramir to flip this face up. Deals 3 damage to the orc. And you know what? That's what we would call a decent first turn. I am happy with that first turn. At the end of the round, we're gonna raise our threat. This is also this is like the highest threat I've started with in a while. Like, I realized that starting at 30 is not that high, but for whatever reason, I've been like leaning in like the 26, like the 20 to 28 range, and like just seeing 30 on the starting dials, like, oh geez. Pass out some money. Draw into the Spearman. Oops. We're going to drop a Wing Guardian. So we're going to go 1-2 to drop a Wing Guardian. And then we're going to spend 1 here to play Horn of Gondor on Boromir. And we're going to keep 1 resource just for that. Well, actually, we probably would not need a second defend unless something flips this and we also get an enemy. But just in case, we do have the resource to play behind strong walls to get that second defend if absolutely necessary. Alrighty, we're just showing 1. We're not going to need Lord Akron's ability this turn, so we're going to go 2, 6, 10. Also, Legolas participated in a attack that defeated an enemy, so we got 2 more. So we're at 5 out of 11. So we're actually not going to defend with defender, or we're not going to quest with defender, just because I would like to get. Honestly, like this kind of looks like what I wanted it to be like. So, like, we could let's wait a little bit. Let's spend a little bit of time and build a little bit. But I mean, it could be like that strategy where it's like, you know what, the game actually has not thrown too much at us yet. Let's play and let's do like let's hammer some stuff. So, but instead of doing that, let's do 6. We're showing 1. We're gonna flip into a 4. Eastern Road gets 5 plus 5 quest points while it's in the staging area. Oh, that's a really cool design. I did not see this earlier, but I really like that. So it's kind of teching against the Northern Tracker build a little bit, but not just outright negating it. I really like that design. And then the first player must take 2 hidden cards to travel here. Okay, so we quested for 6. We're gonna throw 1 here on there. We needed to take a encounter card. We're gonna go ahead and take 2 and travel. Just so we don't want that 4 in there. At the beginning of the combat phase, we will go ahead and flip this one face up. Nice. This is a really fun quest. We're actually going to do this before the attack phase. We're going to exhaust Faramir, flip this up. It's also not a enemy, but what I wanted to do is give the option to defend, because we deal the damage, and then Legolas can start hammering away at the Eastern Road. But there we go. Okay, so we will stand up, increase our threat, pass out some money, draw into. There is our Thicket of Spades. So that's a really good pull for us, especially thinking about pushing into stage 2, because at that point we do have to flip all of our cards face up. So let's go ahead and spend 1, 2 to drop a Spearman. We'll go ahead and quest for a good bit. Let's go ahead and go 4, 6. We're showing 1. Yeah, I would like to get Landraville out onto the table before we go through. I think before we push through, Landraville would be really nice to get onto the table. So let's quest for 6. We're showing 1. We should be fine. I'm going to flip into a 2. When Orc... and we need a hidden card. When Orc Rabble is dealt a shadow card, he gets +2 fight until the end of the phase. So we've got the Orc Rabble out there. He is 2, 3. We clear this, and we place 1. The Orc Rabble will engage us. At the beginning of the combat phase, we'll flip this guy. Okay, so this is an Orc Ambusher. After Orc Ambusher engages you, discard 1 non-objective ally you control if able. Yikes. That is going to be our Spearman. Okay, so we're going to go deal shadow cards. We're going to go... We're going to defend here. So attacking for 3, take 1 hidden card. It's the shadow effect. We deal 1 damage to the Orc Ambusher. And then we've got a 1, basically a 3 attack. We're going to defend with Defender. Take 1 hidden card. Yikes. Okay. Now it's our attack phase. We will Legolas here, which places 2 progress tokens. And then we will go ahead and Boromir and Faramir. Well, actually, you know what? This guy is just going to be a... Oh, this is when he's dealt a shadow card, not when he's engaged. Yeah, we'll have Faramir go ahead and attack. Just take care of that. Now, this is a little scary here, but here we are. Okay, so we'll unexhaust. We'll raise our threat. We'll pass out money. Draw a card into Gandalf. Gandalf in this deck, I typically am using for threat mitigation. I don't think I want Gandalf onto the table yet. I would like to put him onto the table when we do flip so that we can do a pretty nice push. We have a Thicket of Spears. We could push now. The question is do we drop a Landrevel? You know what? We could drop a Landrevel, stall for 2 turns so that we have enough for Gandalf. I guess we only need to stall for 1 turn to get Gandalf onto the table. But I would also like to be able to play Thicket of Spears. This is going to get out of hand pretty quickly. Yeah, so we need Thicket of Spears. We're sitting at 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So we're really close to pushing. So what I'm thinking that we do is we push this round. We will need to flip all of these face up. We lose Faramir and Lord Akron. We Thicket of Spears this turn. So, well, depending on what pops out. We Thicket of Spears so that nothing gets to attack us. And then we drop Gandalf next turn. Ideally, at this point in the game, I don't know if we even need threat mitigation. We're sitting at 34. We could draw cards or take out somebody if we absolutely need to. And then Gandalf is 4. We have 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 19. So there's a good chance that we could beat the 15 quest points next turn. Okay. The other, yeah, I think that's what we have to do. I think that is exactly what we have to do. It would be nice to get Faramir to kill one of these guys. You know what? It is what it is. We're gonna have to do what we're gonna have to do it. Okay. So with that being said, we're not going to play any cards. We're going to move directly into quest phase. And we're going to quest for 4. You know what? We're going to quest for 4. Because if we don't push, I'm also okay with that. And so if we quest for just 4, there's a good chance we do push. We have Defender if absolutely necessary. And then if we don't push, we don't push. And I'm okay with that. So we're requesting for 4 against a 1. We're going to flip into Surge. Each player takes 1 hidden card. That's not great. Surges into... The first player turns each hidden card in their play fair face up. Resolve any win revealed effects on each encounter card. If a location is turned up, added to the staging area. Not good. Not good, not good, not good. Alrighty. Oh, geez. Okay. So we got the Dark Woods. Surge. Each player takes a hidden card. We only resolve the win revealed, so we don't resolve the Surge. So... This is that. We're just going to resolve this one as well. We got the Southern Road. We got the Brutal Urk. And we've got the Northern Road. Well, that was not good. That was really bad. So we quested for 4. We're showing 6, 9. So we raised our threat by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that was bad. That was very, 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 very bad. Okay. So travel phase. Each player must take 1 hidden card to travel here. And then actually, you know what? That may have been my hidden card, but because I don't think I took a hidden card, but here we go. We'll take it. We'll take one. Alrighty, so that was bad. We're sitting at 39 now. Now Gandalf is definitely going to be lowering our threat. Okay. Yikes. Okay, so at the beginning of the combat phase, we do need to ready or flip one of these. We'll flip this. We got an Orc Rabble. When it's dealt a shadow card, it gets +2 until the end of the phase. Okay. Alrighty then. So that's fun. Is that what this is? Is this fun? Is that what we're doing now? Jeez. Okay. Wow. Wow. Hilarious. Okay. Deal out a shadow card. We're gonna defend a 4/4, no shadow effect. So we're good. He takes 1 damage. We got a 3. We're gonna spend 1 resource to play behind strong walls. We'll ready and give +1 defense. We will defend with a 5 to a 3. Attacking enemy gets +1. And he takes 1 damage. Yikes. Okay. Legolas will go ahead and kill here, which will place 2 progress tokens here. Faramir will go ahead and exhaust to kill the Orc Assault. And then we've got 3, 5, which is enough to kill here. Okay. We'll stand up. Increase our threat to 40. We're in a much worse position than we were a round ago. There's a book, which is nice. We could go with a foe hammer or maybe another thicket. We'll pass out some money. I'm thinking that I feel like we have to go 2, 3, 4, 5 off of Boromir to play Gandalf. We're going to reduce our threat by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's also going to help us quest through some of this nastiness here. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a hidden card. We're going to quest for 4, 8, 12. And we're showing 2, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. 12 to 5. Oh, archery X also. So last turn I needed to... X is the number of players in the game. We're going to put it on Faramir. We got another Dark Woods. After Dark Woods leaves play as an explored location, the first player takes 1 hidden card. So we quested 12 to 2, 4, 6, 7. So 1, and we progress. Captured. Faramir and Lord Akron have been captured. Through the throng of warriors, you see their bloodied, torn forms rushed eastward by a band of Urks. You must move quickly to prevent the unthinkable. If there are any hope of rescuing your friends, you must first fight your way out of the ambush. When revealed, place Faramir and Lord Alcaran under captured. They are in play, but the players cannot gain control of them. Each player turns each of his hidden cards face up. So Faramir and Lord Alcaran are captured. We have battle, but we actually still have siege. At the beginning of the quest phase, each player takes one hidden card. If the player ever has 5 hidden cards, he must turn them face up. If a player defeats the stage, they have won the game. We're going to travel to the archery one, and we're going to archery onto Gandalf. We have to flip this guy face up. After engages you... okay, so we progressed. This is going to flip up. We have to discard one non-objective ally. We're going to discard Gandalf. And then archery takes effect. And can someone help remind me, is archery only in the staging area, or does it also apply to the active location? Regardless, I'm going to put one here, and if another one comes up, then we'll put it on Legolas. Orc Ambusher is going to attack for 3. We will defend for 4, dealing 1 damage to it. No shadow effect. Archery everywhere. Stop that. Don't tell me that. Okay, we'll put the second archery on Legolas. And then Legolas will swing right back and kill the Orc Ambusher, which will clear the Darkwood. We'll stand up. Pass out money. Draw into behind strong walls, so that's nice to see. We also have a Landraville, which would not be the worst thing to put onto the table right now. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go 5 money for a Landraville. We are showing 5 in the staging. We're going to... I never raised my threat to 36. We're going to go 4, 6, 8. Or, I'm sorry, 4, 6, 10. We're showing 5. We're going to flip into... When Evil Crow engages the player, that player takes 1 hidden card. It's a 1. So that's 6, meaning we'll place 4. We're going to travel to the Hidden Woods. And we needed to take a hidden card from the Hidden Woods there. Evil Crow engages us. We take a 3rd hidden card. Not looking super great for us. Archery will throw onto Landraville. We will defend the Evil Crow with Bellegrand. It gets +1 attack. Not enough to do anything. Legolas will swing back to kill the Crow, which clears the Dark Wood, which gives us a 4th card. Okay. Scary. We will unexhaust. Raise our threat. Draw a card into Gondorian Discipline. Pass out some money. Now the question becomes, we're gonna flip these up at the beginning of the quest phase. So we'll actually get to see what's going on. Yeah, we'll get to see what's happening before we commit characters to the quest. Because if we ever have 5, then we flip them up at that point. So we'll kind of get to see what the situation is. And we have a behind strong walls, we have a discipline, we have a thicket of spears. I think we are in as good of a position that we can be in to flip these guys up right now. And there's nothing that we really need to play. So that will be our 5th. Let's see what we got. We got the Orc Arsonist. When he engages a player, deal 1 shadow card to each enemy. So since we are in the quest phase, I do believe I shuffle this now. Or the encounter, or yeah, the quest phase. Someone, because I remember that there's a, not necessarily a weird rule to me is that you only shuffle at a certain time in Lord of the Rings. But I think it's during the quest phase. We've got nothing. When he's dealt a shadow card, he gets +2 until the end of the phase. Got nothing and nothing. Okay, not horrendous. Correct. Okay, sweet. Okay, so we are showing 11 here. All right, we have 3 threat. We need 11. So if you flip a 0, you might not always have shadow cards to deal, but you will always have encounter cards to stage. Cool. Okay. Good to know. And yeah. Okay, sweet. Thank you. Okay, so we are showing 3. If we quest for 14 and a 0 pops out, we win. We got 8, 9, 13, 14, 16. So if we throw out a 2, we also win. If we don't, you know what? We're gonna do that because we have a thicket of spheres. We're gonna quest for everything, and then any enemy is not going to attack us this round, so we're good. We're good. Okay. So we're gonna go 4, 8, 9, 13. Yeah. 8, 12, 13, 14, 16. What I was looking at is, could Legolas kill one of these guys? And he can't. He does not have enough attack, but that would be +2 rather than just +1. But no, we're good. Okay, so we're showing 16 to 3. We pop a 2, so 14 goes through. We win the game. Or actually, 16. Yeah, 11 go through, so we win. There you go. Woo! That is Blood of Gondor with a mono tactics deck. I was so happy that I was able to do the mono tactics deck. We didn't get to do any of the main shenanigans. We never got a Goblin Cleaver. I was really hoping. I really like to throw the shield onto Baragond. But yeah, nice ending. Thank you so very much, Josh and Sam. Appreciate y'all. But yeah, it's we were one away from a faux hammer, and then a Blade of Gondolin. The Blade of Gondolin on Legolas gets dumb. Yeah, cool. It's so fun to play mono decks. it just requires you to approach the game differently, and you can't, especially if you're not playing or if you're not playing the mono spirit, you can't rely on hasty stroke or a test of will. You have to figure out how to get around those treacheries. Now, luckily, the treacheries in this scenario, in this encounter, were not horrendous, but still, it got a little bit hairy there for a second in the middle of, or when we had to flip all of those up and resolve all the locations and everything. Nice. Excellent. Cool. Well, thank you so very much. I'm gonna go to the Be Right Back screen. I'm gonna clean up, and then we're gonna be opening the Morgue Veil. So don't go anywhere. We got new cards to look at. See you in a sec.